This is a social business that we have created in Colombia. This is one of the social businesses that's still up and running in Colombia that I've initiated with a few entrepreneurs, and I wanted to share that experience with you. What you see here is actually the social issue, and this is the symptom. So this is what you actually see, the effect of that social issue. What you see on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, that's the neuronal connections. When you see them on a microscope, like your connections of your brain. The more connections you have, the quicker you are, the more knowledge you have. On the right-hand side, you see the connections. Bless you. You see the connections of a normal child. Okay. Now on the left-hand side, you see the connection, the density of connections of a child that has been malnourished. There's actually two things that can cause this. It was one of several, but two I want to mention right now. One is to be badly nourished, or if you also have a baby and you just leave it alone, nobody's dealing with it, then also they won't develop their neural connections. And I wanted to introduce to you, and probably write that down, is the vicious circle of malnutrition. Let's say you start poor, okay? And also, especially in the United States, when you don't have much money, it's sometimes not that easy to actually buy good food. The cheapest stuff here is Taco Bell, and that's really not good for you. But many people cannot afford anything else, so they have to eat Taco Bell. And that's, if you don't have much money and you don't have much money to buy good food, then your nutrition level, so the quality of your nutrition, is going to go down. When that happens, and when it happens early, especially in your childhood, this happens, which means your health is going to be poor and your development is not going to be as good. When you're not very smart and you go to school, or when your brain hasn't developed the right way and you go to school, you're not going to probably have the best grades. You're not going to look very good in school. So your education is going to suffer. When you're not well educated, your productivity in life, what you actually manage to do, is potentially also not that great. So if you have a lower productivity, you're not as productive in your life, then also you're not going to have much income. And what happens when you don't have much income? You're poor again. Poverty is at the same time the cause for poverty, because bad nutrition, bad health, bad education, bad productivity, bad income leads again to poverty, and it's also the result. Right? So poverty it's hard to break through this. Now when we first wanted to do this, we said we want to actually break this vicious circle of poverty and malnutrition. So we kind of thought, how can we do this? So what we thought is, what are those people consuming today? So we went to the Colombians and we're like, what are they eating today? So what they eat actually, there's something called caña, sugarcane.
Oh, I love caña.
It's nice, huh?
Yeah.
So you take those big things, like those big poles, right, and you put them to this press, and they squeeze out the juice. It's delicious juice. Have you had caña juice?
Yeah.
It's really, really good. So what they do with it though is they collect all this juice and then they boil it. They boil it for hours and hours. What happens when you boil stuff for hours? It concentrates because the water evaporates, right? It's in form of steam, it leaves. And it leaves a molasses, like a thick stuff. It almost like it becomes really hard actually.
It's black.
It's brown, yeah. It's like a golden brown. They love it to be golden. Now, when they have this golden panela, they then form like little discs of it, and then they break it apart and put it in hot water to make it something like a tea. And the cool thing about this product is that everybody in Colombia, it's the country with the highest per capita consumption of that stuff. And that stuff is called panela. And so everybody eats it all the time. They consume like 45 pounds per year on average per person. So it's a lot, right? It's really a lot. Now, what do you think is wrong with that?
Too much
sugar. So you think it's healthy?
No.
Oh, no. Not that healthy. What does it do with? What does sugar do to you when you drink sugar?
Gives you energy.
Yes. You feel strong, right? You feel good, and then it goes away. Does it have any vitamins? No. Or not? Minerals? Can cause diabetes. You're right. But they're consuming it so much, so we didn't want to change their customs. It's really hard when you have a new product. Remember this when you create your business? If you have a new product that the customer that you're trying to sell it to is not yet ready to consume because he doesn't know it, or he doesn't know it in general, you have to put a lot of marketing effort in order to make it known. We didn't have that money. We didn't have that luxury. So we wanted to use something that they're doing anyways, that they're taking anyways. So we used panela and we fortified it. Okay?
Oh.
So we took the product of panela, which is just gives you energy, nothing else. And now we took that stuff and we put in there zinc, iron, and the vitamin B complex. So these vitamins, what they lead to? They lead to a stronger immune system. So you're stronger against, you don't need your flu shot, you're just strong like that. Less anemia, meaning the red blood cells can still reach your brain and reach your body. And because it reaches all that, now you can also develop the right way. It gives you more energy. There's something called fetus malformation. So when women are malnourished and in their pregnancy, then sometimes the fetus inside their body is not, you want to cover? They cover, whatever. Then the fetus kind of in the body is badly shaped, so you have handicapped people that come up. At least not very pretty people, I guess. And of course, the most important, the really important part is the mental and physical growth. It's again one of those things which could be an obstacle for children not to reach their full potential. Because genetically, you were born to be a big tree, and at the end of the day, you're kind of like this little bonsai, and you have never really developed the way that you should. So all those vitamins are important for you. So we decided to actually fortify panela and make it a healthy drink. Our business model was to work with a company, because I have no idea how fortification works, no clue. So I went to one of the two largest fortification companies in the world. In this case, it's a Dutch company. It's called Royal DSM. Royal DSM. And we asked them, hey, would you guys be interested in selling some more of your fortification to us by developing a product together with us that addresses the issue of malnutrition for the poor? Why do you think they were interested? Because you help, yes, that's one.
They were interested to expand their company.
Yes, additional revenue, right? Additional sales, very good. What did you say? They make more money.
To be known.
To be known, that's a very good point. Anyway, we partnered up with them and we developed a product together. So to your point, getting their name out there, when Professor Unison suddenly talks about Royal DSM in public, that's good for them. Better sales at the end of the day. Now, we worked with them to develop this product. And then we didn't want to produce our own panela, because there's so many panela producers in Colombia already, and those are usually not rich people, so we didn't want to build a big factory and put those other people out of business, right? So we just found some existing producers of panela and told them, hey, would you guys like to continue to produce panela, but we give you a little bit of a magic powder that you add to the panela, and that way it becomes fortified, much healthier panela. And of course, again, same reason, why would they be interested in that? More money, more business, also feeling good about having a business that actually doesn't necessarily just give people energy, but that has all these benefits, because they can identify with that, of course, as well, right? Here. Helping children to be all that is great for many people. So we partnered up with them, we developed a product with them, then partnered up with these production facilities. Then we found an investor, because it still requires some money to be able to develop the product, right? So we found actually a local oil company that wanted to invest in this business. And then we started this. First with one factory, then another factory, and we started to sell this product. Look at the elements of the business model that I'm showing you right now. A business model, and this may be a word that you've never heard, right? What is a business model? I'm just saying, a business model just describes how the business works. And this is what I'm doing here, right? It's like, where does the initial stock capital come from? From here. How did we develop the product? From here. How do we produce the product? With these guys. How do we sell the product and make money? Through 3 distribution channels. First distribution channel are, and that's the most important one to me, are school cafeterias. So we started to work with school cafeterias that actually feed their children today panela, but it's not fortified panela. So we told them, hey guys, you know what? We're going to sell you a different kind of panela. And it's panela that actually is not just a drink that you consume anyways, but it's a drink which has all those vitamins and can help your children actually thrive. The good thing is that they already bought panela from somebody else. So we could just replace that panela that they're all purchasing with our panela. Right? And they would make sure that those children now 5 times a week get that fortification, that fortified product. It's very important that you consume, when you take vitamins, that you consume them on a regular basis. You just take it once it doesn't have an impact. But 5 times a week, they get that panela from the school cafeterias, and that way we can make sure that they truly have this, that they all really get this fortification. How do we make money? We actually buy the panela, or we produce the panela. So we buy this fortification from them, and then together with these guys we produce the panela. They get a part, we get a part, and then we sell it. We sell the panela to their school cafeterias. They buy it from us. So this generates sales. This is what I call a revenue stream. Let me put that down.
That's also important. Sure does.
Revenue stream. Which is kind of like, you've heard of sales, right? Not a sale in the sense that there's cheap products in this, but sales. It's the amount of product that we have times the price of the product per piece. So we started to produce this panela, and we started selling it to the school cafeterias, at the normal market, or even, and this is the example that I just gave, we used 4 women, single moms, for example, that need flexible hours and that have almost no money, that are begging, and we use them to actually go door to door and sell the product. Okay? So those were this is called distribution channels. Source, this is the production side. We developed the product with these guys. This is the financer. This is the sales part. And this became, this is Professor Hughes biting our panela. This is how the panela looks like.
The healthy one, right?
That's the healthy one. What does it say on here? YY. We branded it the YY panela. Okay? So he's biting here the panela. And the one thing that we're doing right now, because one thing that you always want to do as a social business is you want to measure your actual impact. You want to see if what you're doing actually works.
So if this was smart or had some sport or something?
For example, it could be something, but that's very long term.
Yeah.
The first thing that we did is we hired a clinic, we hired a university to perform a clinical study. And what we did is, or what we're doing actually right now, is we're going to split this room in half. Say, you guys get still the old panela, you guys get the new panela, and then we're going to do blood tests after a few months. And we see that if your iron and zinc levels are much better, then the panela actually works. if it's still the same, for some reason the product didn't work. And you have to go back to the drawing board and start over and find out.
Does it taste the same?
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
That's what I was saying.
Thank you for reminding me. When you design this product, when we designed this product, what was super important?
That it tastes the same or better.
Taste the same or better.
Has to be something they
Usually it's, let's say, the same because people are just so used to it. If suddenly it doesn't taste nice, forget it. And iron, have you tasted iron? Have you ever licked your blood?
Yeah.
That tastes like iron. So it has this metallic aftertaste, it's disgusting. And we had an issue with that.
Hey, it tastes good.
So, same taste was very important and not easy. Because you add something to a product that's fully natural or organic, that usually changes taste. But there's a way to do that. And there's something that's called encapsulation of vitamins. You can do that. Now, what else is important? Look, exactly, it needs to look the same. What's like half of our experience when we're eating, there's of course the taste, but if it looks disgusting, you're not going to eat it.
And it's gonna have the same texture too.
Yep. So the customer experience, the experience of consuming the product had to be the same. Do you remember what I told you about the lady I met on this ferry in the middle of Bangladesh?
Oh yeah.
About the shoes?
Yeah.
Would she have bought the shoes?
No.
If this does not taste nice or doesn't look delicious, are people going to buy it?
No.
So we're going to die as a business, right? And to be honest, when we first put that fortification in there, the panela was suddenly green. People don't like green food if it's not vegetables. And at the beginning we also had a metallic taste. And it took us, trials and trials and trials until we managed to make this actually look the same, taste the same, and, very important, almost cost the same. Almost.
Wait, you have to manage to get all those?
Yeah. Did
All
it
those
cost
things,
more?
almost at the same price.
Did it cost more?
It did cost a little bit more, but there's a lot of inefficiencies in the production process of panela in Colombia. So we managed to make we can still increase the productivity, therefore lower the price, and then compensate that lower price with the higher cost of fortification, and still come out with the same price. So we sell it for the same price. Or our margin is lower. So if their margin today is 50%, maybe our margin is just 30%, but we still survive. It's fine. Okay. Any questions for the panela? Right now, I think we just started that about, I don't know, we started selling maybe like half a year or a year ago, maybe. And I think there's, right now, 7,000 students getting that panela every day. And as soon as we have these results of the clinical study, we can go to the government and say, hey, look, this really works. And these guys have 4 million students in their school system. Can you imagine with like a little bit of an investment? I think we in total invested like $70,000, $80,000 in this right now, up to now. Can you imagine we managed to create a product and a distribution and a business that impacts the health and the development of 4 million children in Colombia every year with just a little social business? It's pretty awesome.